Ziendeweg, in the village of Zwammerdam, is located in the province of South Holland, in a country shaped by water for centuries. At first glance, it appears to be an unassuming rural road, but a closer look reveals everything that is typical of the Netherlands: a precisely organized landscape, narrow canals, open meadows, and a deep connection between people and nature. This area is part of the so-called polders, land reclaimed through drainage and careful regulation of watercourses. The canals lining Ziendeweg are not accidental. Each one has a clearly defined purpose: draining excess water, maintaining proper water levels, and protecting the land from flooding. Without these water systems, much of the Netherlands simply could not exist. Water is everywhere here. It flows quietly alongside the roads, reflects the sky, and creates natural boundaries between individual fields. For local residents, water is not a threat, but a partner, one they have learned to live and work with. The surrounding landscape consists mainly of vast green meadows used for agriculture. The most common sight is herds of cows calmly grazing on the pastures. Livestock farming has a long tradition in this region and forms the backbone of the local economy. Alongside cows, sheep, horses, and poultry can also be seen, completing the image of the classic Dutch countryside. Farms scattered across the area are often family-owned and have operated for several generations. Agriculture here is not just a job, but a way of life. The daily rhythm follows nature, weather, and the changing seasons. Spring brings fresh green growth, summer long days and rich pastures, autumn the harvest and preparations for winter. The landscape around Ziendeweg is mostly flat, without prominent hills. This open space creates a sense of freedom and calm. The wind, so characteristic of the Netherlands, moves freely here and is often the only sound breaking the silence. Together with birdsong and the distant lowing of cattle, it forms the natural soundscape of this place. Despite its rural character, Zwammerdam is not isolated. Modern life exists here in balance with tradition. Bicycles move along the narrow roads, an inseparable part of Dutch culture. Locals use them not only for recreation, but also as a practical means of everyday transport. Ziendeweg is also an example of how people have adapted to natural conditions without completely suppressing them. The landscape does not feel artificial, even though it is the result of centuries of planning and modification. Everything here has its place and its purpose. This environment offers refuge not only to people, but also to many species of birds and small animals. Canals and wetlands form an important habitat for waterfowl, providing both food and nesting grounds. Nature and agriculture coexist here in a delicate, yet carefully maintained balance. Ziendeweg in Zwammerdam is therefore more than just an ordinary road. It is a portrait of the Dutch landscape, where history, nature, and everyday life come together. A place that reminds us that even in the modern world, there are regions where time moves more slowly and where the land still has the final word. The history of this area reaches far into the past. Zwammerdam was already settled during Roman times, when a military fort known as Nigrum Pullum stood here. The Romans understood the strategic importance of water and waterways, which served not only for defense, but also for trade and supply. Even then, the landscape was shaped by humanity's effort to understand water and use it to its advantage. This relationship with water has endured to the present day. The Netherlands is a country built on continuous cooperation between people and natural forces. The canals, dikes, and pumping systems around Ziendeweg are the result of generations of experience and precise planning. Every waterway is maintained, monitored, and respected, because the safety of the entire country depends on it. For local residents, caring for water is second nature. It is not only a technical matter, but part of cultural identity. Water here defines not just property boundaries, but also ways of thinking and living. Daily life around Ziendeweg flows at a slow, balanced pace. In the mornings, the landscape is often wrapped in soft mist hovering above the canals and meadows. During the day, light and color shift, and in the evening, calm sunsets reflect on the surface of the water. Silence has value here. Unlike the bustling Dutch cities, this area feels like a place to pause and observe, a place where one can rediscover the power of nature and the simplicity of living in harmony with it. Ziendeweg in Zwammerdam thus represents more than a geographic point on a map. It is living proof that harmony between people, water, and landscape is possible when built with respect and patience over generations. If you are looking for a place where time slows down, Ziendeweg in the Dutch village of Zwammerdam invites you to stop. A landscape woven with canals, open meadows, and the calm of rural life creates a space where water and nature set the rhythm of the day. It is a region where history meets the present, where traditional farming continues to shape the land, and where silence holds its own value. A place that impresses not by its size, but by its atmosphere. Ziendeweg in Zwammerdam. Discover a part of the Netherlands you will not experience in the cities. Just look, and let the landscape tell its story.